In 2006, he became the first African American in Ohio history to be a major party nominee for governor. You know, Ken he's often been a frequent guest on network and cable news and public affair programs, including Fox News, CNN, Inside Politics, and even MSNBC's Hardball with Chris Matthews. Ken's bio is longer and much more interesting than many bestsellers on the market today. It is indeed a great honor and a privilege to introduce to you Mr. Ken Blackwell.
Thank you for that very, very generous introduction. I only wish that my dear mom was here with me today. She would have believed every word of it. Milton Friedman once said something that I think should frame my remarks today. Friedman said, underlying most arguments against the free market is a lack of belief in freedom itself. Today we are at a very crucial and pivotal point in American history. Our gathering here this afternoon is testament to the fact that history is not moved by chance. It is moved by men and women of dedication and purposeful action. The apologists for big government are trying to change the nature and the uniqueness of our democratic republic, our culture, and our economy. Against the tyranny of the expanding secular state, we must rededicate ourselves to the preservation of American liberty. You see, for God has made us free and has made us for freedom. Now, if you doubt that there is such an assault on the basic and moral foundations of our society, you only have to turn to two headlines, cover stories in Newsweek magazine. Back in February, the cover story was, "We're all socialists now." Well, the heck we are. That's why we're gathered here this afternoon. The second was in April, the decline and fall of Christian America. Now, you know, I know that there was 150 odd years between the Puritans and the founders of this nation. And I know that our Constitution does not establish us as a Christian state. But it would take someone with the imagination of Jonathan Swift not to understand that Judeo-Christian values underlie the foundation of this country. Now, all we have to do is turn to the second paragraph of the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident. It's a very kind way of saying any idiot should get this. That we are all created, that all men are created equal. Now, we're not all equal in height and color and income and intelligence, but we're all equal in that we're fashioned in the image of God. that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, given to us in that order. You see, it is very difficult to be free if you're dead. And so our first right is the right to life, and it's what we have to protect. It is very difficult to pursue happiness if you are enslaved. And so we have a moral, political, and civic obligation to stand up to the forces that are trying to tear our foundation apart. There is a passage in Psalms 11, verse 3. It says, "If the foundation be destroyed, what will the righteous do?" Let me put that in a secular context. If our freedom and our liberty and our foundation is destroyed, what will we do? We cannot sit on the sidelines. As we are today, we must join the front lines of this struggle. That is why we are gathered here this afternoon. As Peter will tell you, since Aristotle's recordings and observations, we have studied the historical conflict between the state and the individual, between individual liberty and the organized power of the state. We must fundamentally understand and appreciate that anytime we have a reduction of the moral responsibility of the individual and a growth in the power of the state, we are on the path of socialist governance, and we must resist it. As we were so vividly told in very clear language by our previous two speakers, the Obama administration is geared to use this present economic crisis as an excuse to nationalize elements of our economy: healthcare, banks and financial institutions, schools, and energy. This is a pivotal point in American history. And in our 233 years as a constitutional republic, we have had many, many challenges that qualify as pivotal points: the Civil War, the Great Depression, the Civil Rights Movement, 9/11, and now this classic struggle between those who would change our culture into one that glorifies and empowers the state versus what our country is built on, and that is a healthy respect for the primacy of the individual. As Barbara indicated in her narratives, we have become a culture where earning money does not entitle you to it, but needing money does. What's wrong with that picture? What's wrong with that picture